So this is week 4 of Patrick Lecture 4, which is on um, world weariness and prayer versus love. And what I do is I tend to corral different sections of the lectures and move things around a bit in the study guide. And so I moved a few things so that the last week, week 4, is about commitment. And by doing so, what I find is that it brings up, the word itself just brings up issues with people. And what has been brought up about this emphasis on commitment is that a lot of people feel that spiritual effort is inherently wrong. Spiritual stuff should be easy. I know I have to work to do various things in my life, but spiritual work should be easy. Now, that's not an attitude that's easy to see. I'm distilling it from concepts. I'm distilling it from comments that people have made. And when I hear the comments and we work through them, what I find underneath that is there must be something wrong because this is so hard. And my challenge is, why should spirituality be easier than putting toothpaste on a toothbrush and brushing your teeth? Now, people don't think that way, but my suggestion is that it takes effort to do that. It may not take a lot of effort if you're willing to do it. If you're not willing to do it, it may take a giant amount of effort. It doesn't take much effort, but it does take doing the things, gathering the materials, getting ready and performing an act, just to do the simplest thing in your daily routine. And so, why would spirituality necessarily come naturally? Well, if it's natural, it should. Yes, but it's been beaten out of us. Society, cultures, etc., have had forcing currents and agendas and directions they want to go in. And so they've blocked up some of our natural currents. And to unblock them, we're going to have to do some work. Now, the other thing that I have found is that there's a reaction to the word work. There really is. I shouldn't have to do any work. So what I do is I have a favorite online dictionary. It's the American Heritage Online Dictionary, AHOD, something like that, .com. And when I find a word triggers people a lot, what I like to do is I like to re-baseline the situation by looking up the word online in that dictionary. I do it in the middle of sessions. I do it in the middle of meetings. I look up the word so that we can see if we agree on the definition of the word, because very often people are using a word, but they're charging it with all their stuff, their history, their resentments, and they have moved away from the neutral use of the word itself. And when faced with the neutral word itself, they go, huh, yeah, I guess that's not so bad. And it helps me delineate, well, what is so bad? What is the problem? So I did that with work. And what I found was that the definition of work in this particular dictionary as a noun was physical or mental effort or activity. We do that all the time. I'm doing that as I speak to you. I'm imagining an idea. I'm having to figure out what words to use, and I'm speaking them. Some people have done this more often than others. Some people have more skill at this than others. I always think half an hour from now, oh, I could have said this or I could have said that. So I'm always dissatisfied because don't consider myself a great speaker. And it still takes effort, physical, mental effort, or activity. And then the definition said towards the production or accomplishment of something. Well, I'm trying to produce a comprehensible description of some of the lectures. That's what I'm trying to do. There's a goal. This is work. As an adjective, it said to exert oneself physically or mentally. In other words, I work at this, which I am doing at this moment. Verb intransitive is to cause or affect, to bring about. Now that fascinated me. So I looked up, and this is what I do. I looked up produce, and it says to bring forth or yield. And then I looked up cause, to cause or effect. I looked up cause, and it said to be the cause or reason for, to result in. The producer of an effort, the result, producer of an effort, result, or consequence. And what I went to on this is that God is a cause, however you see God. But the spirit, higher spirit, the spirit realm, whatever, is a cause because it caused something, it instigated something. If we come from spirit, it instigated life on the planet. And human beings are capable of this godlike quality. That's where my mind went. Human beings are capable of this godlike ability to cause things. Now, why would we disparage the godlike ability to cause things, to produce a result? And the answer would be that we aren't sure what we're doing and we might do it wrong. And if we do it wrong, we'll get judged. Now, all that has to do with how we imagine spirit judging us. And that led me to put in a special module on the God image. There's a 5th week coming. So next week, there'll be a module on the God image. But I want to get back to work. There's nothing inherently negative in work. It's what Patrick teaches. There's nothing inherently negative or positive in anything. It's how you see it, how you work with it, how you use it, what it means to you. So, coming back to commitment and needing to make a commitment to love or making a commitment to do the work of love. And there is work involved with love. There's work involved in learning how to pray in a manner that suits you. Now, work can be distinguished from you gave me the steps, I learned the steps, I did the steps, I did the ritual, nothing happened. What was missing from that automatic process, which we teach children because they have to learn some discipline, what is missing from that process is that they don't have a cause. They don't have something to produce. So we give them or allow them to substitute a childlike cause. Let's pray for Aunt Sally. Let's pray for good weather tomorrow. Let's pray for, and that is addressed earlier in the lecture, where that leads to a problem because we're praying for self-interest. We're praying for things that make us happy. Now, this section's on commitment because I've worked through, or the lecture has worked through, aspects of prayer and aspects of love. And all I'm emphasizing here is that both prayer and love, spiritual work, needs a commitment from you to do it. Without your commitment, without your willingness to put in physical or mental effort, your movement towards a different spiritual reality won't happen. So that's where commitment fits in to this lecture. So that's the tie-in that I wanted to make this week. I'm going to let it go at that and come back to the meeting.